This is the all-new, fully re-engineered 5th generation Ford Expedition. Ford's biggest SUV just got a major overhaul. This is the 5th edition of the Expedition. Huge overhaul. Lots of new tech, tons added to make this a game changer. Ford's really working to outclass the Tahoe and the Yukon. The all-new 2025 Ford Expedition is here, and this time Ford didn't hold back with a bold new design, high-output twin-turbo EcoBoost engine available, and an off-roady Tremor trim, and one of the most high-tech interiors I've seen in any SUV. This thing is built to haul your family, your gear, and just about anything else you can throw at it. Today, we're breaking down everything new, the features you'll love, what Ford got right, and a few things you should watch out for before you buy. So let's jump in and see if the 2025 Expedition, this 5th generation Expedition, really lives up to the hype, and if it's as huge of a deal as the price. Let's find out if that Expedition is going to take you off-road and do all your family hauling and be that towing workhorse, or if it's more of an expense edition. Now, we've got the standard Expedition here that's the active model, and we've got the long wheelbase. I love the Expedition Max, as they call it. I think this is the trim to get here is the active. It's the premium, or you could say premier, first trim, and you can go up to King Ranch and Platinum. They even have an off-road model called the Tremor. My brother has the Stealth Edition, and with the high output 3.5 liter EcoBoost, I have been extremely impressed with its pickup, but we'll take it on a little drive to show you all that. We'll put the pedal to the metal. So the standard tune has 400 horsepower and 480 pound-feet of torque coming from that 3.5 liter twin turbocharged EcoBoost V6. Now the high output variant available on the Tremor and premium trims has 440 horsepower and 510 pound-feet of torque. It's matted to a 10-speed automatic select shift transmission that Ford has had around for now years. That originally they worked on it with GM. It is now going really well. It's not in its first year, so it's now a fantastic smooth shifting transmission. You've got rear-wheel drive or four-wheel drive on this, so 2 high, 4 high, or 4 automatic, and they're not reserving it just for the top trims like they do on the Ford F150. In the background, you've got my Tremor back there, and it's a 401. It doesn't have 4A. I love that Ford has thrown in 4 automatic, which is an intelligent all-wheel drive system on the active model. They're not making you pay a ton more, but I am going to say this is the 202 package, and I highly recommend you spend the extra money on the 202 package. It's where I'd say your sweet spot with quality and value and price all come together to form what is, I think, a near perfect full-sized hauler. Now, the suspension is independent rear suspension, offering a smoother ride. Let's talk about towing and payload now. Let's go to the back of the vehicle with proper equipment and, of course, a weight distributing hitch. The maximum tow rating is 9,600 pounds. That's almost as much as a Ford F150, and that's for the standard wheelbase versions. The Ford Expedition Max, the long version, like we've got right here, you can see by the amount of space behind the rear wheel, well then you've got roughly 9,000 pounds with the same setup. For trail and off-road features, like the Tremor, you've got extra ground clearance, almost 11 inches, 10.9 inches of clearance. Then it offers extra ground clearance, underbody protection, off-road drive modes, rock crawl, trail, turn, assist, and more, like we've got on the Ford F150 that we've owned here. We're long-term reviewing on the channel. You got the new split gate upper and lower sections with option for a cargo tailgate manager that can act as a shelf, table, or seat. So let's check that out and get back to the details. Here's a great example of the practicality of the split tailgate. Someone parks real close behind you, like a thoughtless individual. It's on little buttons below the first eye of Expedition, and boom, you're not stuck or unable to use your trunk just because someone parked really close behind you, or in my case, I parked a little too close. So you're protected against your own foolishness or the foolishness of others with the Expedition. There we have it. There's startup on the 5th generation Ford Expedition. And we've got a little turn dial here for the transmission, so no arm like on the Ford F150. It's that turn dial. You've got gear selector. You've got an M for manual mode, so you can put it in manual mode and shift those gears. You've got very nicely tinted windows in the back, so your second and third row are going to be very happy. No need to add tint back there. Up here, some lights coming through. It's a very, very light tinting, so it's not doing a whole lot, but it is doing a little bit. But I would definitely consider, now it might be illegal in your area, but I would tint this out a little bit more. I wouldn't go all black. I think that's just asking for trouble from the police in most areas. You've got a great air conditioning system all the way to the back. Even the third row has little vents that they can angle. And so far, I'm driving through my neighborhood at a nice 30 kilometers an hour, or about 15 miles per hour, navigating between the signs in the middle of the road and often parked cars on the side. While this is a big, large vehicle, it still feels very maneuverable thus far for in-town driving. The steering wheel takes some getting used to, because this is a big vehicle and this is a small steering wheel. So you might love it right off the bat. You might hate it right off the bat. But whatever you do, give it a chance, because I've had this now for the weekend and I'm starting to get used to it. Day one kind of drove me a little crazy. So all afternoon, I drove it 3-4 times in the afternoon. By nighttime, I was like, okay, it's not horrible, but it's not good. And now I'm thinking it's no longer a huge deal. I'm finding it's actually just fine. And I think with time, I'd actually probably appreciate it, because I can have the seat up, electric seat here on the active model. Can have the seat up, and it's not gonna, my legs aren't gonna get in the way. So actually now I'm actually coming into view of the camera, and by sitting higher, I'm at the highest position. I'm gonna put it to the highest position, I should say. Okay, so I'm at the highest position here, and now I can actually see down the hood. I feel like I'm in a safer position, and I still have a lot to the liner. I've got 3 inches to the roof. I've got about 6 inches. This is good. This is really good, and that's with the seat here being pretty upright. I'd actually drive more naturally about here. And the Expedition has incredible tech. You've got the huge screen up front. You've got the 13.2 center console touchscreen. So the huge screen up front to tell you what speed you can go, to tell you what speed you are going, to give you the navigation, to give you information like your gas. Tells you the radio, what radio station you're on. Very, very nice, very good. But then the touchscreen, 13.2 inch touchscreen, nice big touchscreen. All the options are there, from climate, navigation, radio. This has Android Auto, has Apple CarPlay, it has the Google system, so you can personalize it to each driver. It's got this incredibly cool console, but of course I'm going to show you that on the full interior review. Let's keep this about the actual drive. So 3.5 liter EcoBoost engine. That's a V6 with 2 turbos, offering a ton of power. More power than a family hauler will ever need. Mind you, you might be hauling 9,900 pounds. Maybe it's a camper. Maybe it's that boat or the jet skis, whatever it may be, horse trailer. Heck, you could even use this as for the construction crew. You could have all your construction workers and you can be pulling, you know, whether it's a farm tractor or whatever heavy machinery for the construction site. I'm telling you, 9,900 pounds is a big deal. I can tell you right now, the heated seats heat really well because I have them on and it is hot. The heated steering wheel does a good job. Doesn't feel hot, but but it feels warm, which I like. Not too hot. The bottom, the top, and the sides are hot. The bottom are warm, very warm, so just right. The bottom, I'm not feeling a whole lot. The vehicle is precise. It doesn't have, you know, despite it being huge, it doesn't feel like it's got an incredible amount of body roll. It's huge, so of course it has some body roll, but it has very minimal body roll for a vehicle this big. I'm impressed by it, but we'll know more once we get on to the auto route. And to get on the auto route, we've got something special. We're going to be doing one of those roundabouts. Now here, let's give it a little bit of the beans, pedal to metal. Sounds good, accelerates, dives up a little, but I have tried out the Cadillac Escalade with the V8, and the Cadillac Escalade with the V8, you really feel the vehicle jolting, and in the curbs you feel it moving left, right. I've driven this on sort of like a mock or made up race course that's actually off airplane strip. So it's a run. It was a runway with different obstacles, all sorts of little obstacles. And what I can tell you is, surprisingly, but the Navigator does a better job of hauling you around than the Cadillac Escalade, despite the Cadillac Escalade probably being the vehicle with a better reputation. And the Navigator had better sound deadening materials. The second row of windows are laminated on the Navigator, and even though the Cadillac Escalade is an extra 8,000 Canadian or roughly 6,000 US dollars, better sound deadening on the Lincoln, better interior finish on the Lincoln. I'd actually argue and say that this active Expedition is just a little notch or two below the Cadillac Escalade, because in regards to sound deadening, it sounds a lot like the Cadillac Escalade. And it still has a motor that actually is going to accelerate better and handle better than the Cadillac Escalade. Now, I've got to get this heated steering wheel off. It's a bit much on a day where it's 27 degrees Celsius outside, or roughly, I'd say probably roughly about 90 degrees, 85 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit. So here we go. Let's jump into the bendies here. We've got the roundabout, the highway roundabout. So let's see what kind of wobble we get. That's solid. Yeah, there's some body roll. But I'm even as I try to destabilize this, it's very stable, and there is some body roll, but very minimal. Nothing dangerous, nothing, you know, alarming. It's actually very good. Now let's see here. Give it the gas. Passing power, very, very ample. I must say the Cadillac Escalade with the V8 or a Yukon with a V8 will have more engine sound, and that's the highlight of that vehicle. But the highlight of this vehicle is the suspension, the independent suspension. The sound deadening is incredible, even when we've got the panoramic roof. I must say, this was not a fun vehicle to wash. I don't like washing vehicles with a those wash brooms with the long sticks. I'd say this is a vehicle that you're going to need to go to the car wash with. Now we're going to drive by an 18-wheeler here. That's usually a very noisy experience. And I'd say that's actually pretty darn good. Very, very good. Now there's a whole lot more I want to show you in regards to safety technology as we drive, so bear with me here. Stay tuned. Let's cover the technology, because this really is a feat of engineering and a feat of genius. Ford hasn't just, rebadged the Expedition and called it a new edition. This really is an incredibly great, it's a huge leap forward. And other manufacturers, I think, are going to be playing catch up with this vehicle. So let me show you why right here. Right, here we go. This is the very impressive Blue Cruise, or hands-free driving. It only works on the highway, and you do have to keep your eye on the road. Otherwise, it will warn you. and it could get annoying if you don't have your eye on the road. So my eyes are absolutely on the road now, and now it's going to be doing a fine job with the lane centering and adaptive cruise control. And you can see as we put on the blinker, we've got this side camera, fantastic. And if we put the blinker to go to the right, the vehicle is going to put itself in the right lane. Right when it finds the spot, it moves in the right lane. Now that is some fancy safety technology. Not only do you have the side view camera, you have the ability for the vehicle to drive in and out of traffic on its own. I didn't touch the steering wheel for that. You've got your navigation up there, but one little caveat is you do have to watch the road quite attentively and sometimes regain control if your eyes haven't been right where it wants you to have your eyes. You know, I'd say that's not on Ford, that's on the government's being really strict in regards to hands-free, and that's fine. You've got that 13.2-inch touchscreen right there. You've got manual mode with gear selector, so that's just going to be fantastic if, let's say, you're going down a mountain road, or if you're hauling and going down a hill and you don't want to overheat or overwork your brakes. Well, you can hit that M, put it in manual mode, and then you can choose the gear. You can hold the vehicle in third gear or fourth or whatever gear you need to hold it in off this 10-speed smooth, fast shifting automatic transmission. You've got your camera button, your emergency lights there. If you don't like the fact that the vehicle will sometimes turn the engine off when you're in traffic or at the lights, the A with the little circle around it is to turn off the automatic lights. Sorry, the automatic start-stop. So the automatic shut-off of the engine. You can turn traction control off, and you even have hill control descent button right there. You've got the Pro Trailer mode right there. I'll talk about what that does in the interior review. But we have a very cool and comfortable interior on the 5th generation Expedition. So again, we've got the camera there. We can safely merge with traffic and get back to business. This is going to be a great, not only family hauler, but a great daily driver. This will make your drive to and from work more relaxing, more comfortable, and much safer. Woo! I gotta say that I love the sound system on this. It almost sounds like one of those car show sound systems I used to build for car shows back in the 2000s. The sound system is spot on. The blind spot detection works really well. The adaptive cruise control is great. The lane centering is fantastic. The screens, everything seems to be perfectly placed, and the style of the dash is incredible. Now, this vehicle needs it because it's huge, so big. You don't buy this just for the fun of it. This isn't going to be your speedster to drive around with quickly, but it will make going to and from work a whole lot safer and more comfortable. These captain chairs are incredibly comfortable in the front. The second row, incredibly comfortable, and the third row, comfortable. Mind you, it's a third row, but I'll tell you all about that in the interior review, because the interior review, I'll go back there, sit back there, and show you what it feels like to be an adult in the third row. So make sure you do subscribe and turn bell notifications on to not miss that. But I gotta say, going in and out of traffic here with the Expedition is great. I love the side view camera. I like how this handles through the bendies. It's incredible for a big vehicle. It's no Porsche 911 or Shelby GT350. But it's very, very good. It's excellent, I'd say. Dare I say, incredible for such a big vehicle. This isn't just the Expedition. This is the Expedition to the max, and I have maximum happiness driving this. Now, the huge caveat behind all this is I can't have one. Why can I not have one? There's a good example of sound deadening. A very loud bike going by, and yeah, I could hear it, but it wasn't deafening. And if I would have had the music on, I'd have just heard it. Well, how I was playing the music before, I would have maybe not heard it. loving the Expedition, but I can't have one because it's just too, for me, it's an expense edition. It's the edition that's just a little too expensive. Now, if Ford comes out with 0% on the Expedition, I'm gonna have to seriously consider it. I think the active model with 202 package is the model to get, because I feel like I'm driving a Lariat. The seats with the ActiveX, that's recycled plastic, it feels fantastic. It doesn't have that incredible leather smell of a Platinum or a King Ranch, but price-wise, it's so much less. The technology is oh so good, and I want you all to really consider test driving one of these. Now, I'm going to be test driving a Corvette real soon, so I want you to hit that like button to help out the family business. Subscribe, please do subscribe and turn bell notifications on so you don't miss any of the content here, because I'm dedicated to bringing you the real deal, the don't be fooled information. You know, no BS here. It's the real deal. Don't be fooled information here at Johnny's Car Care and Reviews. So I'm going to sign off. I'm Johnny from Johnny's Car Care and Reviews, of course, wishing you all more cars and more power. Hope you get to put the pedal to the metal in a car that you love sometime real soon. And Godspeed and God bless everybody. Thank you so much to the members for giving us that extra help that we so dearly do need. Take care, everybody. See you soon. And on the active mode, when you lock the doors, the mirrors fold because, well, this isn't the smallest vehicle. So a nice little practical feature. Ford, I think, really did sweat all the small stuff to make an incredible vehicle.